I am Brooke Honeycutt, and I am the Visual Arts and Technical Theater teacher here at Greenville Tech Charter High School. I graduated from GTCHS in 2010. There's so much that's changed between when I was a student and now that I'm a teacher, which I like for the sake of me being a teacher, because it doesn't really feel like I'm teaching at my old high school, especially now that we have a new building. I'm not even in the same location. But as a whole, there's a lot of different things that have changed. I mean, administration and teachers alone change the atmosphere of a school. That would be the biggest thing that I noticed right away, was just the difference. The vice principals had so much student relationship that it really made up for it. Like, they were our buddies and we pulled pranks on them and with them. And when we got in trouble, it wasn't scary.
What made you become interested in wanting to pursue an art degree?
It was the only thing I was good at. If I'm being honest, I was not a straight A student. I didn't do any clubs. I didn't even take college classes, actually. Charter didn't have an arts program when I went to school here. Our only electives were computer classes. So I really liked art and I liked drawing. And I would just doodle in my free time. And I started doing set design stuff at my church. So we would do these really big themes. It actually was my church that really got me into art. So it was kind of I have this hobby that I like doing and I'm way better at it than I am at normal school things. And I didn't know what else I wanted to do. So I just ended up pursuing it because I was like, this is important and it should be in every school, and I didn't have this opportunity. The idea was I want to go to schools that don't have art programs and develop their program and write the curriculum, and that was kind of what I liked focusing on, was the curriculum writing and creating of a program, since it was lacking in schools. I was looking for jobs, and I wanted to work in a charter school because I really like the idea of charter schools. I like the small environment. I like having better student-teacher relationships, and not just people bustling in large groups and coming and going. So I was specifically looking for a charter school to work in, and this one just happened to have an opening and I got the job. So it just kind of worked out really well for me in that situation. I mean, I'm glad it worked out too. It was really weird at first. At first I was like, this is weird. I'm at my old high school and now I feel like I'm stuck in high school again, and that's very strange, but it hasn't actually ended up feeling that way at all. It's been really nice. I was worried when I first came in because there was an art teacher before me, and she had started the program, and they were kind of vague mixtures of things, and she didn't have as high of standards as I think are necessary for a charter school. I did convince them to let me change the sculpture class to an Art 2 before starting the year, because I was like, this doesn't make any sense to have one level of art and then stick them into something very specific. They were all very excited about me changing it and developing it, and that's what they were hoping for. So I was able to come in and change it to Art 1, Art 2, and then Portfolio 1, Portfolio 2, so that I have a 4-year program that is linear, that students can continue to work up and actually be able to take it all 4 years. So our art program's definitely evolved in the sense that it's grown, classes-wise and curriculum-wise. Once we were able to create and established arts programs, and I mean visual arts, but also our theater and music programs, we have been able, the three of us have been able to establish that program so well and grow it that now students have started coming to our school for that program, which is really cool, and that's made such a huge difference because we are the only charter school in the upstate with full arts program of all music, all theater, all visual arts. So the caliber of what my students are doing from my first years to now is such a huge growth, which is super exciting. That's been the best part of it, is to the actual evidence that the program is useful and has grown through the student work alone has been the best part. One goal that me, Ms. Haskell, and Mr. Marsh all have together is that we want to establish our arts department to be self-sustaining, meaning it's not dependent on us to consistently do the things that we do. If one of us were to leave, that it would be self-sustaining enough to continue on at the caliber that it's at now. But other than that, I want to start getting my master's degree. I would really like to be able to teach people to be good art teachers, so that we have better art teachers out there, because the more good art teachers we have out, doing what they're doing, just the better that whole program is going to be respected nationwide. I think there's a lot that I can bring to the school that other teachers can't, because I know what it's like to be a student here. And so I tend to have a lot of different perspectives from the other teachers here, even the ones that have been here a long time. So like I try to make that useful. Like I'm on the senior project committee because I've done a senior project at this school, and I know the student side of it. I think in that aspect of just being able to relate to students more because of that unique, like actual, we went to the same school, helps a lot.
Who are some of the teachers that were like your teachers or were teaching when you were a student, and then now you're like co-workers with them?
There's quite a few that are still here now. Like Coach Shiley was still here. Mr. Kaz, who I still call Mr. Kaz because he's just the kindest teddy bear, and he's just forever Mr. Kaz. But he was a great teacher. I mean, he was hilarious. He still does some of the same thing. He has like quirky things that he just does. But yeah, he would like have a homework song that he sang. One time he played the accordion for us, which apparently he can play.
But a Horner's a great name for harmonicas and stuff. So it's beautiful. It's made in Italy. Let's see.
My name is Ed Kaczmarczyk. They'll call me Kaz. And I'm an instructor at Greenville Tech Charter High School. I teach physics. We've taught environmental science, meteorology, the 2 versions of astronomy, taught chemistry.
Where did you go to college?
I went to Madison. You know what? I started at Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and then I transferred to study meteorology at Madison, Wisconsin. The professor wanted me to stay on, so I got my master's there, and then I was working on a PhD, and then that's when I met my wife. So I decided I needed a job, so I quit going to graduate school.
So you taught at JLMan, and then now you're at Greenville Tech Charter High School.
Yeah.
So how did you get the job at Greenville Tech Charter High School? How did you hear of the school?
The guy that was the principal at JLMan, he eventually left, and then he went to Greenville Tech Charter High School, kind of turned it around, and then finally, in one of my discussions with Fred, he said, you know, I would really like you here. Have you thought about being full-time? And so we decided, let's do that. And so that's where basically I was, you know, he asked me to come there, and so I did.
Did you always like expect yourself to become a teacher?
I didn't, but I saw my own children go through a public education was so bad, and that I felt, and I knew I could do a better job. And then the lovely Miss Kaczmarczyk is a kindergarten aide, and that principal said, you know, I know a guy, he needs someone to teach AP physics at JLMan, and you'd be perfect. You got a good attitude. Why don't you get certified? So I went for 2 years to Coastal Carolina and learned classroom management. And you know, teaching, okay, you're not gonna make a lot of money, but there's some things you do for love, and that's what I've learned, is that I'm a better person. I'm a better person for knowing all the students and the faculty and administration.
So you mentioned that you love having that relationship with the students. Does that relationship with students kind of motivate you to continue teaching every year?
Yeah, I think so. And I can tell you the story. I think it was last year. You know, my room, this small room at the end of the hallway, and none of this computer junk worked. I mean, it probably is common for everything. And I'm not a technology guy, and I thought, geez, it ain't working and stuff. And I was ready to quit that first day. I was ready. And I walked out in the hallway, and I think you were probably one of them, and some other guys. They were all down the hallway waiting to get the college textbooks and stuff. And so I'm out there shaking everyone's hand and talking to them, and I'm thinking, like, why am I doing this? I mean, I could be doing something, making a whole lot more money in that, and a lot frustrated with all the technology. And then I came home and we talked about it, and I thought right then and there, I thought, I am here because I think God just made me just go out there and see all you guys, because I was not a happy camper that day. And the times that I have felt like this is not, none of this is working, or the technology like that, that's probably the things that frustrates me. But no, I mean, seeing everyone out there is like, why am I doing this? I was the only guy out there talking to people, you know, like, I'm not complaining about other faculty and that, but it's like, it was because of you guys. That's why. I continue on. And you're right, that's what it is.
What have you seen, like, from a teacher's perspective on, like, the student involvement and leadership at GTCHS?
I think that from what, and they don't have a lot to compare it with JL Man, it was a lot bigger school. And I think from that point of view, us being smaller, there's a big advantage. And I don't know if this is part of it too, is like, everyone has a place. Everyone has a place, no matter what. We have students that they fit in at our school. They may not fit in at like Wade Hampton or Greenville High. And so they're not going to get a chance to be themselves.
My name's Elliot Turner. I'm 17 years old, and I go to school at GTCHS, and I'm a runner on the side. I'm an only child, so it's just me and my mom and my dad, pretty much. They both work for Michelin. My mom, she does more process stuff, and my dad does quality control more. My mom told me I could be whatever kind of engineer I wanted to be, so engineering's always been something that I'm really interested in. Science and math have always been my strong suits. Both of my parents are engineers, so engineering was just immediately the path I took down. Really, the deciding factor for me was what kind of engineering do I want to do. So the reason I chose GTCHS was because, first of all, the small size allowed me to have the opportunities that I wanted to have. And then I chose GSSM because I wanted to take that first step towards engineering. I wanted to show colleges I was ready to be an engineer and that I would do great things in their program. So my goals have definitely changed. I thought I was going to be completely school driven. Like my entire high school career, I was going to focus on school the whole time, not really do as much extracurriculars, and more be that person who has insanely good grades, is studying all the time, and all those things. But as I grew into high school, I realized there's so much more that you can do than just sit here and study. So getting into things like cross country, student government, robotics, all those good things that I've been able to experience through high school, I wasn't really expecting that my freshman year.
All right, so tonight we got the Starlight meet, just a massive meet here. It's gonna be great. What makes Starlight so special is it's the only cross-country race we run at night, and it's also the fastest course probably in the entire state. So the energy is just unmatched here tonight. All right, so the mentality coming into this race is just run fast, all right? So basically, I'm gonna get out fast, I'm gonna find someone to follow, I'm gonna follow that person the entire race, and then I'm gonna pass them at the finish, and that's what's gonna happen. Big challenge here tonight is just gonna be maintaining pace, because everybody can get out hard, everybody's going to get out hard, but the challenge is making sure I'm mentally capable of being able to focus on that guy in front of me and go get him. When you hit the 1 mile here, you basically bottom out really quick. But 1 mile is really, really fast here, and then it's just a battle against your mind the entire rest of the race to tell yourself that you can keep running that fast. So that's the biggest challenge here tonight.
So my first Starlight meet was just a crazy day. We knew the course was going to be fast because all the seniors have been telling us it was going to be fast. They were hyping it up, getting us excited for that race. I had a really big goal that day. I wanted to break 20 for the first time, which for runners is a massive thing. It's something that, like, it's going from being an intermediate runner to being someone that's advanced and you're actually doing things in the sport. Breaking 20 in the 5K is just huge. I did achieve my goal of breaking 20, which was absolutely insane. And on top of that, we won the meet for our division. So that was just being able to have those two things coalesce on the same day was really awesome for being my freshman year. And I don't think I realized how big of a thing that was, like being able to win that meet. But looking back on it, that's just a huge step in my cross-country career that is really important. So this year was a lot different for me. I've run 3 Starlights, so I knew what was going to happen. I knew what was going on coming in. I knew there were going to be a lot of PRs. I knew there were going to be a lot of fast people there. So really my goal, more than anything, was to lead the team because I knew that they could achieve great things there because I had done it in the past. So I wanted to get to those guys, make sure they were as ready as possible to go throw down that time that I knew would change their cross-country career. So Pink Week is basically a spirit week, except everything that we do goes to making strides against breast cancer, which is a foundation that helps in breast cancer research and trying to fight that fight. Student government obviously runs the bulk of it, so that takes a lot of planning. The biggest thing for me was the pep rally. The pep rally was awesome. Having everyone dress out in pink, everyone pinked out, and just being able to see the grade levels compete, but also have fun together, was just amazing. Seeing everyone smiling, cheering, just being excited while they're at school is the main thing to me. They're so excited to be there. All of our students had a great time, and then it was just a great way to cap off Pink Week. I really enjoyed that. There's this one moment that I can think of that specifically drove me to want to become student body president at GTCHS. I was in an athletic meeting, so all the athletes come together, all the fall athletes come together, and Coach Shiley and Miss Anthony talk to us and tell us about what we need to do as athletes, being leaders in the school and things like that. One thing that Miss Anthony said, we had just got our new gym, so Miss Anthony said that now that we have this new gym, I really want to push athletics, and I want this school to be known not just for its academics, but also for its athletics. And that was something that struck me, because I had always saw Miss Anthony and our athletics as diametrically opposed. But now that I saw those two things come together, and we had this new gym, and I saw there were seniors, or at that time sophomores in our class, that were coming together and really enjoying athletic events, that I wanted to make that push. I wanted athletics to be a huge part of what we did here at GTCHS. I didn't want it to be on the back burner anymore, because our basketball team was getting a little better. Our volleyball team was getting a little better. We were competing for things in soccer. There were so many things that were coming together all at once, and I knew that I wanted to help take advantage of those things, and I knew that the best way for me to do that was to be in a position of power as student body president. Something I'll take from high school into college is definitely just take initiative, because I was really scared to run for anything my freshman year, to do anything big. But I saw when I took that initiative and took that step to want to do something, there are going to be people that are there to support you while you're taking that initiative. If you take the initiative, people will come and support you. People will gather around that and flock around that, and just really, you can create great things, because if you take the first step, other people will be more willing to take the second step with you. So just taking initiative is a big thing that I'm going to take away.